Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to Dad's Budget Bites, that kitchen where budget meets flavor. Today we're going to be making a super rich and creamy broccoli and chicken Alfredo. There's a couple extra goodies added that you may not have tried on your own. It's going to be just as good or better than restaurant at a fraction of the cost. So stay tuned and let's get into it. Here's what we're going to be using today to get this done. So first off, we have two 1-pound chicken breasts, followed by your favorite pasta, one standard size box of that. Broccoli, fresh or frozen works fine. Parmesan cheese, of course. I can't slant this one much, but milk. So I have a 1.5 cups of whole milk. Cream cheese, gonna add a very velvety texture. Some Cajun seasoning for that kick. And then for garlic, I'm going with fresh and jarred. They play nice together, so it works well. And salt and pepper to taste. If you're going with frozen broccoli like I am today, mainly out of convenience, you might be a little bit worried it's going to come all soggy and mushy, but don't worry. I got a simple trick that will eliminate that. What you want to do is you want to fry your broccoli over a medium to medium high heat with some oil instead of boiling it or steaming it, and it will remove a lot of that extra water that's retained within the broccoli, so it won't end up soggy. Our pan's been heating up now for about 5 minutes on slightly over a medium heat. Again, you want to go anywhere from a medium to medium high, depending on how quickly you want to get this done without burning it, and also how hot your burner tends to get. So this is in between a medium and medium high. Now you just want to add a little bit of oil, maybe like a tablespoon's worth. Add the broccoli. If it's still frozen, it could just break up as it cooks. So you do want to stir this somewhat constantly so you don't burn it on one side. Our broccoli's now done, heat off. Just wanted to show you guys visually the broccoli doesn't look much different, but you saw how it was frozen when the broccoli was added to the pan. And now look, you see the center there? No water. Most of that extra liquid, extra water evaporated, and you're going to end up with a firmer broccoli this way, trust me. So this could be removed now. On to the next step. So now what we need to do is slice up these gigantic chicken breasts. So I have my cutting board here. I have some parchment paper down so that way the raw chicken's not directly on the wood. And what you want to do is slice it like so to create 2 halves. You could avoid this step altogether by going with chicken tenders, especially if you're cubing it. If you prefer bite-sized pieces, you could always cube it, and then it really doesn't matter. I'm going with the breast today because it's going to create longer cuts because the chicken breast is wider. And it's just going to look more visually pleasing when it's all done. So if you want, first what you could do is grab a paper towel and just kind of give it a little pat to remove the water that's on there. And now you just want to cut it like so, right down the middle. Try to make it as even as possible. Grab your sharpest knife. You definitely need a sharp knife for this. So your sharpest knife, cut it right down the center. There we go. Now we have 2 pretty much equal halves. Now we could flip it and do the other. And when you're done, you definitely want to wash your hands good. Always when dealing with raw chicken. You can never wash your hands enough. So there we go. Now for a quick seasoning, salt and pepper of your choice. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. Flip, rinse, and repeat. We broke back out the countertop burner, cleaned out the pan from the broccoli. This has been warming up now on a medium high heat for about 5 minutes with a little bit of oil added. about a tablespoon and a half worth of oil. So this should be nice and hot now to add the chicken. I'm going to have to do it in 2 batches because my countertop burner only holds up to a 10-inch. If you have a large enough pan, you could probably bang this out in 1 shot. And now we could add that chicken. Our chicken's been cooking up on the first side now for about 6.5 minutes. We should be good to flip it. So let's check it out. Oh yeah. That's what you're looking for. That is what you're looking for. So I'll finish cooking this chicken up and then we can move on to that delicious Alfredo sauce. Our chicken's done and looking phenomenal. Our broccoli's done. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. When it comes to cooking chicken, if you're not sure if you're done, but you think you're done, what you want to do is you want to slice through the thickest piece. You want that to be fully cooked through, so you don't want to see any pink at all. And now, as you can see, I'm getting a really annoying sun glare in the worst possible spot. So what I'm going to do for that Cajun Alfredo sauce is bring it to the oven and we can finish it off there. So let's go. Come on. Now it's time to get going with the Alfredo sauce. So we got this pan warming up on a medium heat for that. We have our water to boil the pasta. That's on a high heat now to get that water going. Add a little bit of salt. Making Alfredo sauce might seem very daunting, very challenging, but I promise you it's not that difficult. So follow these steps and it would be done in no time. So the first thing you want to do is melt the butter. I have my garlic press here. If you wanted to mince it by hand, that's cool. The garlic's all nice and peeled. And now we're just going to run it through this press. That's 2. That's 3. Now we could add that jarred garlic as well. Get that in there. And then you just want to give this a quick saute for about 30 seconds. Now it's time to add our Cajun seasoning. This is actually homemade from a prior video. So if you're interested in how to make your own Cajun seasoning, check out the Cajun shrimp recipe. So this is a tablespoon's worth, as much or as little as you want. And say you wanted to keep it more classic, more traditional. All you got to do literally is swap out the Cajun seasoning for Italian seasoning, and that's it. That's literally all it takes. Now we could add the cream cheese. I have about 6 ounces of cream cheese. We want to melt this. I'm going to turn the heat down slightly because my burners do tend to be on the hotter side. So I have this on a 4 now. At home, you may want to keep it on a 5. And now we could add the milk. So I have 1.5 cups of whole milk here. And then we could finish melting that cream cheese also. And remember, there's no one way to cook anything. So if you wanted to use heavy cream, you could omit the cream cheese altogether, or just add a little bit. Even if you wanted to go down to 2% or 1% milk, then you just add another ounce or 2 of cream cheese. You go up to 7 or 8 ounces. You may have to add a little bit of flour also. Give this a little whisk. Now we could add the Parmesan. So when it comes to the Parmesan cheese, you want to add that in slowly and whisk it. For this part, it's important to whisk. So I'm going to do half. Kind of give it a little whisk, a little whiskey whisk. Then add the rest. Now we could add our pasta. My particular penne pasta here needs about 10 minutes. Turn it down to a medium heat now. Stir it occasionally so it doesn't stick. Our pasta is now cooked and drained, and we could add that right to the Alfredo sauce. Easy does it. You don't want anything splattering. Mix it all together. So now it's time to slice up our chicken. If you want to cube it, that's fine too. For this, I'm going to do slices. So ideally, you want to go with the grain, but this one's kind of swirly. If you have a sharp enough knife, it really doesn't matter. So we're just going to do it at a slight angle. Just kind of push it down. Non-serrated works best for this. Gives you cleaner cuts. There you go. All right, everyone, we're now at the best part of the video because we get to taste what we made, take some pride and satisfaction in that, and see how we did. One thing I forgot to mention when I was making the Cajun Alfredo sauce is if you wanted to add salt and pepper to that, just add that to taste right at the end, and then just mix it in. Let me just give you a quick close-up of what we did today. It's looking awesome. I'll try to get it out of the sun glare for you as best I can. That's looking great, though. Plenty of chicken and pasta to go around. I only cut up 2 breasts. And here's the rest of the pasta and broccoli. And what we made today should be good for up to 8 servings, especially if you add kids into the mix. If you're talking about all adults, maybe closer to 6 or 7 servings, depending on how hungry you are. And we made this for anywhere from $1 and change to probably around $2.50 per serving. I haven't crunched the numbers yet, but it's probably in that range. So you're talking a small fraction of what it would cost you at a restaurant. And now, without further hesitation, we could dig in and see how we did. I tried to get a little piece of everything here. Bottoms up. Wow. Alfredo pasta has always been my go-to at restaurants ever since I was a little kid. And making it at home, if you follow this recipe, I think you're going to like it even better. The Cajun seasoning gives it a little bit of a kick. I use a tablespoon's worth. You might want to adjust that up or down depending on how spicy you like it. But for me, this is just the right amount of spice. I thought it would be a little bit spicier than it was, but this is just perfect. So this is a hit. Try it at home. Let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts. Give me your feedback. But yeah, this is definitely a hit. We're now at that part of the video where I would normally spin our cooking wheel to set up the theme for next time. I'm making one slight change, so we're keeping the wheel for Wednesday. We can call it Wheel Wednesday if you want. And then Friday is going to be like open mic, open floor. To allow for some flexibility and some more creativity, we'll keep Friday open for whatever. And then the wheel on Wednesday. If you got anything out of this video, please hit that thumbs up. I always do appreciate it. Drop me a comment. I always love hearing your thoughts and your feedback. Share the video with your friends and your family. I always appreciate that too. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And then lastly, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And until next time, I'll see you all next time.